All right, take it away, Kristen.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Do not adjust your dial. My name is Kristen Jungles, and I'm in Naperville, Illinois, and I'm filling in today. I have the honor of doing that for James Shaw, who is on a much-needed vacation. You guys, when I think about the fact that JDS has hosted a call for free for 5 years, Monday through Friday, and I mean, the man deserves to go on vacation more frequently than he does. That's for sure. So I'm super excited to be here this morning with everybody. We were sharing in the pre-show the wins that we're having outside of real estate. And I think it's important for everyone. We did our mid-year review. We're going to talk about that today, but to reflect on the things that you've done outside of real estate that has been successful for you. And so thank you to everybody that shared. Before we get into the content, I know there were a couple more hands up. Hope, Derek, if you want to share yours, I saw your name up there. But if we get a couple, tell me something good before we get started. Diane Davidson, kick us off.
Thank you so much. I just came back from the Dominican Republic. I was on a mission trip with my church, and I feel like I left half my heart there with the girls in an orphanage, and I was so blessed to be able to have this business so that I can go and do things like that. And I'm going to let it go to somebody else.
Oh, Diane, that is absolutely amazing. You are doing such incredible work, and I'm sure your heart stays with them in the Dominican until the time that you can go back again. So thanks for doing that great work. That's a great share. Anybody else have a tell me something good? Or we're going right into it. All right. Is it Celestine?
Ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Want to put proof on the screen. Thank you for letting me share.
You're welcome.
Quickly, I had a great birthday this May. I turned 64, and I got back to my fitness goals. As you can see, I'm out here. I'm walking 5 miles every single day, and about 5 more thousand steps later in the day. So this call is my motivator, and I've got my first commercial listing this weekend. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for letting me share. Have a great day.
5 miles every day. So if that doesn't give you guys inspiration, I don't know what does. Congratulations. Muriel, you're the last one, and then we'll get into the content.
Great. Thank you so much. I have to say, I had a little rough time. I had fallen at an open house May 17th and busted my tendon. Anyways, I'm back, and I'll be able to drive in 2 weeks, hopefully. My something good is that I am using my art as a source of my business. And I finally given myself permission to be a dual agent. So I've got time with real estate. I've got time to network with Clay and bring the two together. And I have a lot of things on my schedule for this summer. So I'm pretty excited.
See, I love that story because not the fact that you got injured, but the fact that it slowed you down long enough to be able to pour into something that you absolutely love. That's incredible. So prayers for quick healing for you for sure.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we are in the shift book because that's what prompted our call to begin with. So, and I'm going to read from 2 pages today. And then I am curious to know what, as we look at the second half, I mean, James Shaw tells us that the great coach Lou Holtz from the Fighting Irish, I know he coached at another school, but tells us that, champions are made in the second half. And so when I think about that, first I think of Bree, and then I think about this book. So, but on page 27, on here, it's Gary and Dave and Jay write that our research shows that the 2 actions real estate agents must take personal ownership of are lead generation and lead conversion. And if you bring it home onto the gift of the shift on page 271, successful people shift always, continuously, relentlessly. So and then on to page 272, which is my What Would Donna Gilbert Do page, you decide. You can either make easy times harder than they need to be, or you can make hard times as easy as they can be. You don't get to decide what the market will do, but you definitely get to decide what you are going to do. And so here's what I want to talk about today. We have spent a lot of time, I know all of you guys have, on evaluating where you were in the first half, right? And so what worked, what didn't work. In the military, we called them after action reports, right? And what are we going to do better the next time? And so what I want to know today, it's so funny that hands go up before I even ask the question, but what I would like to know from all of you today is, where is there the most opportunity for you? And I don't mean an opportunity of, I think I'm going to try this. I want to know what you looked at in the first half of 2025 that you had success with, that is the most opportunity for you to decide to take action on it in the next 6 months. So we spent the pre-show talking about what was inspiring people outside of real estate. And what I want you guys to walk away with this morning are some ideas that you could implement right away from people that have decided that they are going to crush the second half. Miranda, kick us off, sister.
Good morning. Thanks so much. And thank you for filling in, Kristen. That's so awesome of you. Yeah, so I reviewed, I actually stay on top of my numbers all year long because I have a coach, I have a MAPS coach. And every single week she asks me, I have to fill out a job form before our call, and it asks how many listing appointments have I had this week, and then also in the year, how many listings have I taken for the week and the year, how many with my GCI, what's my pending, how many closed. So I'm always looking at those numbers all year long. And then we also looked at what am I tracking for? And I'm actually pretty on track for my goal for the year. I had a great first quarter, best first quarter I've ever had. And that was a result of what I did at the end of 2024.
So tell us more about that. Tell us one strategy that you're going to use in the second half of the year that has resulted in that success that you're seeing.
Yeah. Seminars and open houses.
Perfect.
When I look at what my lead source is, I'm not great with like sitting on the phone for 2 hours every morning. That just doesn't, that'll kill me slowly. And so I don't really do a lot of that. I mean, I do follow up on leads, obviously, but I don't sit and call my database regularly, but I do events. I always do client events. So we're always calling our clients for our client events. We're always doing seminars, and we always have a reason to call people. So it's not that we don't call our database. It's just that that is not my main source of like lead generation.
Awesome.
I go out like you, I golf. I get more from my country club than anywhere else. So I make sure that when I go to my country club, I make sure that I am talking to people about real estate. Now that does not mean that I am walking up to every single person and asking them about real estate. But they ask me. So I golf, I make sure that I'm interacting with people. I do my seminars, I do open houses, and then I make sure that I'm constantly talking to those people.
Yeah, I don't doubt for a second that Donna and Elaine are going to be buying and selling houses for equestrians, right? Like do something that you absolutely love, surround yourself with like-minded people, and you eventually will talk about real estate. Great share, Miranda. Thanks. Dean, good morning. I know you know how to unmute, Dean. Let's go, buddy.
And subbing for James today. I think it's great. You're doing great.
Thanks.
Things that my pleasure. I just want to say what you got to do is chunk things down. I was talking to my coach. We had ambitious goals at the beginning of the year, and as time goes on, and maybe you're on track, maybe you're slightly off track, you get a little freaky in your mind. You say, "Man, I don't want to derail myself. I'm way off track." And what you got to do is chunk things down. You just got to make one more appointment a week, one more appointment a week, one more intentional appointment a week. Change your script a little bit so you increase your chance of getting the listing, increase your chance of conversion. Do it a little bit at a time. And I'm chunking it down so much that now I'm getting more opportunities one at a time. If I get one more appointment a week, I might be able to get, I don't know, one more listing every 2 weeks. It's just a matter of just doing that. But thanks for letting me share.
Great share, Dean. I will tell you about, it'll be 2 years in September where my coach and I sat down and said, what is going to be the one thing that I can do differently in my business that's going to elevate the business? And it was to add one qualified lead and or to set one appointment every single day that I did lead generation. So that's Monday through Thursday. And when I did that and it became non-negotiable in my world, it absolutely changed the game. So just adding that +1 will literally elevate your business. You'll be able to help more people. Thanks, Dean. Good morning, Julie Hess.
Good morning. Thank you, Kristen. And I just wrote that down. When you shared that a while back, 1 lead and 1 appointment, like that's up on my wall in the office. And I'm like, I can't leave or I can't go golfing until I get that new lead and new appointment. So thank you so much. So it's funny you said crush the second half, because I said to my assistant a couple weeks ago, we are going to crush the second half. And she said, how are we going to do this? I said, I don't have a clue, but we're going to crush it. We'll figure it out. What I've noticed, and you're asking, what's the one thing we'd do different? And I've been saying this for years, but now we're seeing a shift, is our boomers are restless and they're moving. So what I've done in the last month is gone to every 55 and plus community and going to every place that I think would be an answer for where they could go. Because now they're calling us. If we look at how many from our database are calling us, it's them. They're ready. They've had it. So that's one of the things we're doing, is going deep into our database and saying, hey, have you seen this community? Hey, are you still thinking? Hey, here's some options. So coming to them with the solution, because we need their homes for like the millennials and so forth. So that's the one thing that we are putting in place in the second half.
I love that, Julie. And it reminds me of something that I think about is when you work with boomers, you're doing business in the twos. And what that means is you're going to have a buy and you're going to have a sell, right? Like, so you're going to work in the twos, and it's much easier to talk to 5 people in a month than it is to talk to 10, right? If you have transactions going. So think about staying in the twos on the people that you're working with. So move ups, right sizing, these are the people that keep you in the twos. Great share. Good morning, Bree.
Hey, friend, you crushing it. It's the second half, baby. So one thing that our coach, which thanks to Kristen, I was connected to, has helped me in, and it's raising my level of intentionality and awareness around like my pipeline. Coming back into a business after leading for 2 years, it's, you got to get back into that momentum, get back in relationship and a flow with your database. So it was really digging into some of those opportunities that kind of were on the fence, or just, for whatever reason, we didn't stay in touch because I had focused on leadership. So that was the main thing for the first half for me, was just getting back into relationship with my database. And then the second half, my plan is to really get into just being out belly to belly with people. And that's one thing that lights me up, is where I show up most authentically, having conversations and like leading this Women's Business League chapter here, where we are intentional with connecting and, just being in the community. So that is my plan, to continue to crush it in the second half, because this year is personal.
Yeah, this year is
It's
personal.
personal. Yes.
So I love that. So tell me something, Bree. Do you have a standard as to how many face-to-face events that you're going to attend each week?
Yes, a minimum of 1, but this chapter meets the first and third Wednesday of every month. And so that's one at a time. So it's going to be at least a minimum of 1. And like here in my neighborhood, there's so many apartments, and we have an event coming up on July 30th where we're doing a home buyer seminar. So like Friday, we went and just literally went to just about all of the apartments, asking if we can place flyers, asking what does a collaboration look like with them. So just really just, being out and face to face, but no less than 1 event per week.
I love that. That's creating standards around your business, because the reality is that activities create results, right? And so we can't always gauge where the results are going to be, but we can control what activities do you need to do each and every day, or in Bree's case, every single week, in order to get the results you're looking for. Great share, Bree. Thank you. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. I just wanted to say that I was that person chasing the next shiny object, running myself ragged. And I had to stop myself and say, okay, Robin, what is the one thing you can do that's going to help boost your business? And it was going back. I have a logbook for my 8 years of real estate to find out, where did my leads come from? Where did these clients come from? And when I did the Excel spreadsheet, I'm like, it came from people I know. So for the next half of the year, I'm focusing and going down hard on the people that know me, love me, already trust me to continue growing my business.
So I love that. So that is being very intentional about your numbers. Miranda talked about at the beginning of like knowing where your numbers are at all times. And I did that to look at the first half. And so you can choose of the top 3 things, whether it's sphere of influence, referral, new construction, whatever it happens to be for you. But then when you want to evaluate, how do I crush it? How do I go big in the second half? It's taking the things that you've had the most success for and then building activities around those top 3. So great share, Robin. Thank you so much. Good morning, Cheryl in Vegas, who wakes up very early.
Good morning, Kristen, my Boulder friend. Yeah, so mine is we have a shirt called Be Boring. Mine is boring. Get 30. I'm having the best year of my career, and that is 100% because of the tracker and really gamifying it and making sure, like to your point, not quitting the day until I get 30. And that has really just helped me to make sure that I'm staying on track. So thank you guys for all that you do to help me, and you've inspired me, and I also am in a ladies accountability group that has really helped me. And you know what, this call is pivotal.
Yeah, that accountability piece is huge because, I always think about it. Bree mentioned our MAPS coach that we have, but I always think about it like I'm not going to show up to have a conversation with my coach and not have done the work, right? Like, so being accountable to somebody is absolutely huge. Let me ask you a question, Cheryl. Like when you say you get 30, and if you're an Inspire, you guys, by the way, it's the best $100 a month that you'll ever spend. Show me your budget and I'll show you $100 that you have that you're spending frivolously that you should be investing in yourself for personal development and business growth. But when you get to the point that it's the end of the day, Cheryl, and you're not there, who's your phone? Who's your next call? What's your next move? How are you going to do it to make sure that that 30 stays non-negotiable for you?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a little bit of a freak myself, and I kind of don't allow it. But, I have my gals in my accountability group that, we bounce things off of each other. We're constantly texting each other. We're constantly pushing each other. And that accountability is just so crucial, especially if you're having one of those days that you're just not feeling it. And we all have those days. And so I just think it's really important to find your tribe, find the people that can really inspire you and make you better, and surround yourself with those people because it's only going to make you better.
That's great advice. And there's 819 people on here right now for you to choose from, you guys. So do not be a silent agent in any way, especially when it comes to accountability. Find somebody on here that puts you completely out of your comfort zone and make that person your accountability partner, even if it's just to text them every day and say what you're doing. So great share. Good morning, Valerie.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm gonna change the tone just a little bit. Someone said, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And my MAPS coach used to tell me, look, if you hate doing something, let's find something you love to do. So a lot of people on the call know that I've had a very challenging 2.5, 3 years. So in January, I sat down at my desk and I said, what do I like to do? And I like to do things like Canva and stuff. So I said, why don't you send out postcards? Since January, I have designed and sent out 14,000 postcards, and I've gotten 4 leads. They have 4, I'm closing on 4 properties. So that's what really has helped me. And then at Elevate, we met Alice Daly, and I joined Table Builders because I love people. I love my community. I love sharing friendships. And I started Table Builders. And in the next 6 months, I plan on doing a couple more. And that's what I love to do. So that's what I'm doing. It's a little twist on the whole topic, but
Yep. No, that's perfect. It's staying in your lane. So if you know what you love, I mean, I don't ever feel like I'm working, right? Because I absolutely love what I do every day. I love that every day is different. And so it doesn't feel like work to me. So find what you love and do more of it. I better see some people in the chat responding to Michelle Carter in here, who was bold enough to say that she needs an accountability partner. The only one of 814 people. Somebody step up for her. Erin Nelson, what do you have to say?
Okay, first of all, she must have missed our post. My post from last week is I'm starting an accountability group because I reached out and asked for an accountability partner in the Inspire Facebook page last week, and a ton of people messaged me. So we are starting an accountability group, and I'm working on that. If you got anyone interested, shoot me a message and I'll add you to our group chat we have right now. But the other thing I was going to say is was realizing I didn't have the listings that I wanted this year. And so I started, I heard another guy in our office who works a different market than me was having really good responses with golden letters. So I got the golden letter he was using from him, started sending out about 120 a week. And I've had several appointments. I've got a listing appointment this afternoon, all from the golden letter, the one that I shared with you guys like the week before last or whatever. But golden letters has been working great for me.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing. You guys, I want to thank everybody for contributing today. I loved hearing everybody's success that you're having outside of real estate. I hope it inspired somebody to do something more, right? So whether it's getting into fitness or buying an investment property or exploring that as an option for you, there's a whole big world out there waiting for you guys to crush it. So I'd love for you to step into that arena. And then everybody's sharing how they're going to win in the second half. I'm not saying that you have to implement everything, but if you could take one idea from everything that you just heard over the last 20 minutes and implement it at a really high level, I swear you're going to see some success on the other side. So thank you for letting me be the guest host. Thank you again to Nadine for running the boards. I appreciate you and the entire JDS team. You've got the inspiration, friends. Now go put in the perspiration. Have an awesome Monday.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Kristen.
Kristen. We'll see you soon.